Hello guys, good morning. Welcome to the second part of how foundation repair work is done. Yesterday we stopped almost finishing installing all of the piers, so this morning we're just finishing with that. We just have to set up 2 more bottle jacks, and after that we're gonna start lifting and leveling the house. So I'll show you around the house real quick, and then I'll show you how we set up the zip level to start checking the elevations and to start confirming how much to lift around the house. Okay guys, so it's time to start lifting the house, and we're gonna set up our level. We have our zip level, and it's an electronic altimeter, so it's very accurate. And let's see the set. So here we have our level in the center of the house. We're marking our 0, and then based on this, we're going to lift the house to level it as best as possible. So the house had a big remodel repair on 2020. It was all renovated, so we're gonna lift as much as we can, avoiding the most possible damage to the house. So we have about an inch in here, and we have about 2 inches on the front. So the guys are outside lifting as I check the elevations, so we have to make sure that this one gets closer to about 1 inch. Like I said, this house had a major renovation in 2020, and we don't want to create a lot of damage after that. So we can see that here in the inside, the elevation is about 1 inch low. So our goal is going to make the front level with this, which is like 6 feet away from here. We could use interior piers, but the elevation is not that bad. It's just 3/4 of inch. So we're just gonna try to level it with that within 3/4 of inch. And of course, we're gonna be checking around the house that the doors and walls, they don't get damaged. If they start getting damaged, then we would suggest to stop, and we still warranty the final elevations. Even if they're just 3/4 of inch, we warranty that those 3/4 of inch are not gonna change. So you can see that we don't have a lot of damage around the house actually. So this is before the lift, and there are a few signs of the phone. So after I give the command how much to lift, the guys outside are lifting. We're communicating through the radios, and let's take a look at what they're doing. Okay, so the guys here are lifting. We're counting each pump we give to the hand bottle jack. So we know that approximately 20 to 25 pumps to the jack is about 1 inch, around 3/4 of inch to 1 inch. The house is kind of heavy. It has a really good grade beam. So they're lifting right now.
15, 16, 17, 19, 20.
So as you could see there, the guys lift like that, and we go slowly, simultaneously lifting on each section. So we are 6 people. I'm inside the house, so 5 guys are outside lifting. So we pump on five of the piers to lift the house. Of course, we start on the lowest area, and as the lowest area matches the other elevations, then we can continue lifting. Like I said, it needs to be a slow process. We need to do it very carefully, and we need to monitor around the house to make sure we're not causing more damage. And sometimes if we start seeing damage, it depends. If it's just cosmetic, we can let the customer decide, but if it's structural, sometimes there's nothing else but stop. And after they renovated the house, these cracks continue to happen here, and also this one right here. So after we finish lifting, we're gonna see if they closed. But unfortunately, like as I explained, when the house was fully renovated, this area of the house was already low, including the corner. So all of these doors and everything that was repaired in here was done with that level, with the house being uneven. So because of that, we're not going to be able to achieve 100% of levelness. Like I explained, we're just going to try to lift as best as possible until we start seeing damage. Of course, the customer doesn't want to go over the whole renovation, so we're just gonna stop maybe at around an inch. Right now we have like 1 inch in here, like 3/4 of inch, then it's 2 inches on the front, and it was approximately 3 inches on this corner. So from there, right now we just have 2 inches. We'll really lift an inch, and then in here we have about an inch low. So we're gonna see if we can match that area to match this, and without having any damage around the property. So on the outside, the guys were lifting here. This area, you can see it's already minus 1 inch. So we're gonna go back to the other corner, which is still about 2 inches. So we're gonna lift over there to match 1 inch low. Another 30 pumps. So here we have minus 2.1, minus 2.2. The guys are lifting outside. Let's see if we can take a look. Yeah, so you can see the guys are there. They're lifting. They're lifting on 5 piers across this section. And I'm just taking a look how it goes up. Make sure we don't have any additional damage. So they did a very nice bathroom in here. So hopefully we don't have any damage on the tile or anything like that. But see guys, that's why it's very important that the foundation work is done before any other repair to the house. Because right now, we are lifting very slowly and careful as always, but the problem is we're not gonna probably achieve 100% of levelness because we're trying to avoid all of this damage that still is very likely to happen because the work was done before. So before you renovate or remodel your house, and it's better if you make sure that you take care of your foundation and plumbing issues first thing before anything else. Then if your foundation or your plumbing is in good shape, it will be okay to fix everything else, knowing that you won't have to go back and redo all the stuff because the house is shifting or because they have to go through the floors to fix any pipe or something like that. So this is how much improvement we have. We already lift about almost 2 inches. So right now we are in 1.5 inch lower. Here, almost on the center of the house. This was like 1.7 lower. And right now is approximately 0.8. And we still have no damage here on the walls or anything like that. So it's coming up really good. So far, the doors still working. Like I said, I don't see any damage on the walls after we lift 2 inches. This hasn't closed. But like I said, my main concern was to make sure that we don't have any more damage here. So yeah, all these doors are still working and nothing has cracked on the walls. So we're just gonna continue lifting it slowly and carefully, and we can 100% minimize any new damage. So now we're moving into the front door and the other corner of the house, but on this side, which was the lowest, like I said, this corner was almost 3 inches low. Right now we are within the 1 inch mark, and fortunately, like I said, we don't have any new damage here. All of that is thanks because we're doing it very slowly and carefully. But let's take a look at the other side. So this bedroom was like 2.2 inches low, and we are in 1.2 inches, so we're gonna lift another 25 pumps in here, which is gonna give us like 3/4 of inch high up, sorry. And then we're gonna move into the other corner of the house. But here, see, right now it's 0.2. It was like 0.7. So this is coming up along the front of the house. And we're gonna see if we end up being like 0.5, which is gonna be a perfect level. Okay, so on this corner of the house, we have reached the level, it's 0. We're gonna have to lift a little bit more by the front door, but not too much. So we're going back into the front corner where the master bathroom is located. We're gonna try to lift the other inch that we're missing, and hopefully we can achieve it. But yeah, see, the front door is just minus 0.3 now. So we're gonna have to lift 0.3 here. So we make sure that our 0 has remained a 0, which is good. We're gonna check this room again, make sure if it's level or we need to lift a little bit more. The guys are just waiting outside for my instructions, so they have 0.3 here. Let's take a look in the inside. We don't want to lift the outside more than the inside because then that could create problems. But yeah, we're pretty good, so we can lift a little bit more. Now just making sure on this side should be level as well, almost. So yeah, we can still lift this another ½ inch. Okay guys, so we finished with the leveling. The next step is the guys are going to shim the piers so we can remove the bottle jack. I'll show you that shortly, but first let's walk around the house and see if we have any additional damage after we lift. Keep in mind that we had to lift this house about 3 inches, and because we did it very carefully, nothing from the previous renovation has been affected by our work. So you can see there are no cracks around the walls. Everything remained the same as when we started lifting. The doors are working properly. This crack, I believe it closed a little bit better, but it's still there. So the tape there that was affected by the shifting of the house, the crack is still in there, but like I said, we don't have any additional damage. Like you can take a look at the walls here, and nothing actually got damaged by the lifting of the house. I was concerned about this door. I explained to the homeowner that because we had to lift like 3 inches, it was very likely that the door will need adjustment. But the house came up pretty good and nothing got damaged actually. So that's really good news. Now we're gonna go over the final elevations, make sure the house is level. So we have our 0 on the center of the house, right here. So let's go along the repair areas. So let's check here. So we have 0. Now let's go to what was the lowest area of the house. Now here we are 0, which is really good. Remember that it doesn't always end up at 0. We always have some tolerances. And of course, it all depends on the quality of the construction of the house. If the foundation is good, like this one, then you can achieve really good results as we have in here. But when the foundations are poorly built, of course, you can't expect it to be as good as this one. So this is 0 as well. So guys, if you go back into the video, you'll see the old elevations before we lift. The house was around almost 3 inches to 2 inches low. This area was 3/4 inch lower. Sorry, the wire got stuck. I want to do this without cutting any part of the final elevation, so you can see that the measurements are truthful. So we have 0 in this room, which was like 2.5 inches low. Now, time to go to the front door. The front door was about 1.6 lower. I think right now it's like 0.3. 0 is really good. Then the front of the house here. It's hard to go all the way over there, but we'll check it on the middle, on the center of the room. So we have 0 as well. Then we're gonna check the back of the house. We didn't do any work over there, but we're gonna still check those elevations just to show you how level the house is now. So we have 0 on the back of the house. I'm not gonna go through the entire house on the back. This is just as a reference, so you can see how much we lift and how good it looks now. Perfect. So we have the entire house within, let's call it ½ inch at most of difference around the whole span of the entire foundation, which is really good level. Okay guys, so we just showed the customer the final elevations. He's very happy with the result. The entire house is, like I said, within ½ inch. There are no cracks inside the house. Like all of the doors continue to work as they were working before, and all of the renovation work they had done about 2 years ago didn't get any additional damage by the lifting. So that's what happened when you hire professional foundation repair labor. And here, Wahama and Carmelo are shimming the piers. So I'm gonna show you that as soon as he finishes in here. Carmelo is going to remove the bottle jack on this one. And then as soon as they finish those two, they're gonna move into the next ones. So we have to shim all of the piers so we can start covering the holes. And let's take a look at how much we lift on this house. So here you can see that this is how much we lift, because on the video that I did yesterday for you guys, you could see how we set up the bottle jacks when the house is really sitting on here. Now here you can see the gap. This is how much we lift. The house was sitting here, so these are the 3 inches that we lift, more or less. So the gap is irrelevant now because all the weight of the house is equally distributed on all of the piers that we install. And that's the reason we install the piers at every 6 feet apart from each other. So each pier is exactly and strategically located at every 6 feet. So the weight of the entire structure is gonna be distributed on each of them. And of course, because they're pressed all the way down into the load-bearing strata, the weight of the house is gonna be never sufficient to push them further down into the ground. Now we're talking about this side was softer than the other side. So on this side, the piers went about 25 feet deep. Then on here, they went like 18 feet deep. And on the other side, they went about 15 to 16 feet deep. But now let's take a look at the finished pier before they cover it. So this is a finished pier. You can see, well, it's hard to see, but over there beneath the top cap, we have the pier that goes all the way to the load-bearing strata. We have a couple of our concrete spacers. These are 2 inches. And then we have our 2 cylinders with our steel shims. Remember, the steel shims are important because they're like a cushion. They prevent the concrete here and here from cracking by being in contact against each other. So the shim in the middle is just like a cushion to avoid the cylinders from rocking. And this is how it looks after the pier is finished. Then if we have to do any adjustment, we will just remove the cylinders, remove the top cap, test the pressure with a hydraulic pump, and then if they lose any pressure, we just push them further into the soil. If the pressure remains the same, then we know the pier is good and we can just adjust the level, lift it. And the same, you can see the gap in here of how much we lift. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna start covering holes, and I will show you when everything is being completed, so you can see the finished results and everything done. So it's time to start cleaning up everything. Hey guys, so we're about to finish with this project, and we're just finishing with the work. Right now we just have to properly grade the soil around the house, clean up all the dirt and everything, and let's walk around before we finish so you can see all the progress. So we're almost done with the work. You can see the big progress. So most of the dirt is back into the holes. We already use a lot of water to pack the soil properly to avoid sinkholes down the road. But yeah, so probably we're gonna be finishing up in, let's say, somewhere around an hour and a half. You can see all the dirt is pretty much back into the holes, so we're just gonna start spreading around and creating a negative grading so the water is pushed away from the house. That way we prevent puddling of water next to the foundation, which can lead to more shifting. And there, here for example, some of the extra soil that we had from the holes, because you know when we dig the holes and we install the piers, those piers are using now volume that before had dirt. It had that dirt before, so now because we have the piers inside the holes, we cannot put all of the dirt back in there, so we use the extra soil to create adequate grading around the house. Like here, there was a huge dip next to the tree and the water was just getting collected in there, so now it's just gonna run smoothly to the street. But yeah, I'll show you everything up again when we fully finish the work. Okay guys, so we are about to finish finally, so you can see that's how the grading looks after the work is done. So this side is completely done. We're just letting the tarp dry, and we have to pick up all of our tools for sure. There's a little bit of trash around the house right now, but that's the next step. We're just gonna be cleaning everything, the tools and everything. So we're just gonna start loading the trucks, cleaning the, like I said, the trash, picking up all the tarp and the bottle jacks. But you can see that all the dirt is back into the holes. We graded the soil around the house, so all this is done. Next step is we had to do a concrete breakout in here, so the guys are just gonna fix that. So we're gonna pour the concrete back in there, and we're just doing the finish up. They're just finishing up this side, so we're gonna do the same as the other side, which is create a negative grading to push the water away from the foundation, so everything is sloping like this, so the water will come this way, and on this lot the water will come this way, and then it's gonna drain towards the street. So that's the reason we're leaving our grading higher than it was before. Over the aging on this house, the gutters had been causing erosion, like all the water coming from that gutter is just washing the soil away, and that's one of the reasons why they had foundation problems. So now the homeowner, they know that they need to install extensions to the gutters. The gutters must be at least 4 feet away from the foundation, so the erosion won't happen straight next to the foundation. And that's it. So we're just gonna finish spreading the dirt in here. We're gonna clean up all of our tools, we're gonna load up our trucks, and then it's gonna be time to collect the payment and go home. And just a quick recap. So we installed 17 piers in here. Each pier went somewhere around 15 to 22 feet deep. The left side of the house was drier and harder, and the right side of the house was a little bit softer. So on the left side, on the average, the piers went about 16 feet deep, and on the right side they went about 22 feet. So here on this side of the house, we have to lift approximately 3 inches, then we lift 2 inches, and then about 1.5 inches on that side. So you can take a look again on those videos where I show you the before, during, and after lifting the house. So you can take a look at all those elevations again, how we lift the house. And then finally, I'm just gonna show you everything when we finish picking up the tools, we load up the trucks and everything. I'll just do another quick video to show you everything finished up. The final touch-up, we're just patching the brick that we removed in order to excavate the hole right here. So this is the last thing, and we're gonna be all done. So Wahama just finished grouting the brick, so it looks as nothing ever happening here. Okay guys, so now it's time to check at the finished product. Everything is done, the cleanup and everything is complete. So let's take a look right now. That's it guys, like we were never ever here, and we're ready for the next job. Tomorrow we're gonna be installing hybrid piers in Denton, Texas. So have a nice rest of your day.